It was a huge shock.
Just days after a former Bath County educator was killed, the school system he worked for is honoring him.
The Richmond Police Department asked the city for a pay raise months ago. Today, the city gave them an answer. We'll talk about the heated debate inside chambers.
And all the boy had to do was just pull over.
A Southern Kentucky teenager is charged with trying to kill an officer. How a break-in investigation turned violent.
This is WKYT News at 5:30.
Good evening. His death has hit the community hard. Today, a man who spent many years teaching and coaching in Bath County is being remembered.
Jerry Thatcher died Friday after he was hit by a truck while working on his motorcycle on the shoulder of an exit ramp. Thatcher worked for 30 years in the Bath County School District, and he had just retired a couple months ago. Victor Puente shows us how students and staff honored the longtime educator in our top story at 5:30.
Jerry Thatcher spent more than 30 years working in the Bath County school system. Today, those schools honored him just days after his death. Jerry Thatcher retired just a few months ago after 34 years working in the Bath County school system.
So a lot of the students that we have here at Crossroads, he taught their parents.
He was so positive. You never left a conversation with Mr. Thatcher not feeling uplifted.
He had been a teacher, a principal, and a coach to thousands of students. He died Friday in Rowan County when he was stopped on the off-ramp of the Farmers Sharkey exit on I-64. State police say he was in the emergency lane with his motorcycle when he was hit by a pickup truck.
It was a shock, just a tragedy.
The new principal at Crossroads Elementary worked with Thatcher for the last 3 years when he was principal. She says he was completely dedicated to his students, and his death has been difficult. Today they held a balloon release, black and orange, representing the Harley-Davidson Thatcher loved to ride.
Goodbye, Mr. Thatcher, but also to say thank you, Mr. Thatcher, for that love and passion and care that you've had for us.
He called them all his babies, even those he had 33 years ago.
Thatcher's funeral is tomorrow. Schools here in Bath County will be closed in his memory. In Bath County, Victor Puente, WKYT.
Kentucky State Police say that crash is still under investigation pending toxicology results.
The fight over pay raises for Richmond police continues. The department says they're losing experienced officers because of the pay. But the mayor doesn't think a pay increase will keep those officers. Today, both sides looked over the department's proposed pay scale. Kristen Kennedy takes a look at that proposal.
The police department gave the city a proposed pay scale months ago, and the city did a cost analysis on that scale. They had a heated discussion about it in chambers.
Are you wanting us to come up with a proposal?
No. Look, this is not rocket science.
We're making our proposals based on other departments our size, and obviously it's going to be a tough sell. It's not, Cadillac money. It's basically just trying to get us within batting range of other departments that we're losing them to.
Richmond Police Assistant Chief Bob Mott says they're losing 3 officers this month and that watching them walk away is frustrating. He's been fighting for the pay raises since 2014.
There's just more to it than just giving somebody a raise. This is a complicated process.
There are several things Mayor Jim Barnes says scare him about the scale. No cap with cost of living wage increases and a proposal that's more top heavy than what he would like to see.
I deal with numbers all the time, and I know that we right now in the city of Richmond, as far as payroll, police and fire get 75% of our total revenue. Now, how much more can you give them?
The majority of the commissioners agreed with the mayor. They rejected the scale. They want to try and work out a new counter proposal.
I'm disappointed that it didn't go through.
Commissioners would like to have a counter proposal on the table in the next few months, but they didn't set a deadline. In Richmond, Kristen Kennedy, WKYT.
Commissioners did approve a 4% raise for all city employees earlier in the year, and that raise went into effect on July 1st.
Police in southern Kentucky are investigating after someone found a body in a cave this morning. Our county-by-county coverage at 5:30 begins in Wayne County. Monticello police say the body was found in a cave near Trails End Road around 10 this morning. The body was taken to Frankfort for autopsy. Police have not released any names, but they say the victim is a man. In Scott County, a man charged with murdering a Central Kentucky girl has been indicted on several charges. Investigators say Michael Davidson shot Morgan Penn a little over a week ago. Family members say Penn was at a sleepover in Stamping Ground when bullets fired from outside the home hit and killed her. Davidson has also been indicted on charges of murder, wanton endangerment, tampering with evidence, fleeing and evading police, possession of a gun by a convicted felon, and being a persistent felony offender. In Perry County, a teenager faces several charges, including attempted murder of a police officer after a weekend car chase. Deputies say they spotted 18-year-old Andrew Oliver when they were checking out a break-in at R.W. Combs Elementary. They say Oliver led them on a chase through the Leatherwood community and then crashed.
I heard their sirens coming, and I heard a big loud noise outside and looked up, and the car hit that tree right here.
Investigators say they tried to get Oliver out of the car after the crash, but he put his car in reverse, hit a vehicle and a deputy. That deputy is okay. Oliver was taken to the Kentucky River Regional Detention Center.
The September steam continues. We're tracking some very warm weather sticking around the region. Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey has an early look at your forecast.
Yeah, for this time of year, I think this qualifies as some hot stuff that is out there right around 90 degrees for the better part of the afternoon into most of central and eastern Kentucky. At least we don't have the just crazy humidity that is out there. Mid to upper 80s, right at 90 into most of central and eastern Kentucky. Mix of sun and a little bit of cloud cover, though certainly more sun than clouds. Right at 90 for most of central and eastern Kentucky. We're looking at your Defender radar network, and we've noticed a little cloud cover trying its very best to billow up into the heart of the afternoon. Maybe a sprinkle into northern Kentucky at one point today. Not really excited about that. Whatever is out there in terms of clouds, getting ready to go away very, very quickly. As we look ahead, summer just keeps on rolling. It's going to be a kind of a carbon copy of a forecast heading into the day tomorrow. Then as we get toward the end of the week and start of the weekend, thunderstorms will begin to join the mix as a cold front makes its way towards central and eastern Kentucky. That has an honest-to-goodness shot of some cooler air coming in here for part of the weekend. I'll tell you which part and when it arrives and exactly what it brings in just a few minutes.
New tonight, a report from the state auditor's office is raising some questions about spending in Powell County. The auditor pointed out 16 concerns after looking at a financial statement for the county's fiscal court from last year. The auditor says the jail and ambulance funds have a deficit of almost $445,000. The audit also details complaints about the payroll, and as for employees, the report says that some part-time employees are getting full-time benefits. The fiscal court needs to pay overtime properly, and the payroll computations were not right for 4 employees. The judge executive says the majority of the issues raised happened during a previous administration. He says since taking office, the county has been working to fix the issues.
School leaders at Eastern Kentucky University say it's been a record year for private support. EKU received $8.9 million in gifts and commitments. That's about a 100% increase from last year. There have been several projects going on this year, some academic initiatives, scholarships, and construction, and donors have been supporting several of those projects. A University of Louisville program that encourages students and staff to ride a bike to campus instead of driving has become pretty popular. The Earn a Bike program was created in 2012, and it gives participants a $400 voucher to use to buy a bike, helmet, and a lock. In the first 4 years, the program had more than 1,500 people sign up. This year, they expect about 400 more people to join. The program is even being used by other campuses nationwide, including at the University of Kentucky.
The developer of Centerpoint says the project is still a go, and he tells me expect construction activity to resume next week. Several viewers have asked us, what is the latest on Centerpoint? John has our good question tonight. When is the Centerpoint hole going to be filled in? I moved back to Kentucky from the military in July of last year and have not seen any progress on that hole in the ground. Is there going to be a building built, or is it going to be filled in? John, there has been progress, but just about everyone agrees it's come at a snail's pace. Dudley Webb tells me construction on the underground parking garage will start back up next week. He says they just got approval for an additional third speed ramp, is what he calls it, from Vine Street down into the garage. Concrete has been poured for the columns in the garage. It's estimated the garage will be finished next year at a cost of $20 million. Now, back in July, you may recall, Webb showed us updated designs for the above-ground project. There they are. That included a 10-story office tower, an 18-story Marriott hotel, and a 12-story Marriott Residence Inn. The downtown block for Centerpoint was demolished and cleared 8 years ago. To submit a good question, send an email to goodquestion@wkyt.com.
Still ahead on WKYT News at 5:30, a big grant will go a long way for Lexington Hospital. What changes will be coming to the St. Joe's East NICU?
I'm Bill Bryant. The same national poll shows advantages for both major presidential candidates, and Kentucky's highway fund is still running short. The bottom line is ahead.
Keep up with the latest news on WKYT.com. Join the conversation on Twitter and become a part of the WKYT Facebook family.
A new poll released today shows just how close this presidential election is.
And a familiar face is expected to be added to Kentucky's general election ballot. Bill Bryant tells us what James Comer plans to run for now in the bottom line.
Good evening. The presidential candidates have returned to the campaign trail now that we're after Labor Day. The clock is really ticking, and a new nationwide poll out today shows Donald Trump taking a 2-point lead among likely voters, while Hillary Clinton leads among all registered voters. Trump campaigned in North Carolina and Virginia today, 2 key swing states. That CNN ORC national survey shows among those most likely to vote a 2-point advantage for Trump, 45% to Clinton's 43%. Libertarian Gary Johnson was at 7%, and Green Party candidate Jill Stein shows up at 2%. But among all registered voters, Clinton leads the field by 3 points. It's a statistical toss-up in both measures. Clinton has a strong lead among women. Trump has an even wider lead among men. Regardless of the numbers, nearly 60% say they expect Clinton, who campaigned in Florida today, will win the November election. Democratic U.S. Senate nominee Lexington Mayor Jim Gray unveiled an economic proposal on Labor Day. Gray says he wants to invest in roads and bridges and high-speed internet that he says would attract jobs. Gray also proposes easier access to small business loans. Gray is trying to unseat first-term Republican Senator Rand Paul, who returned to Washington today as Congress started back after its summer recess. Republicans meeting in Kentucky's 1st Congressional District this evening. They're expected to nominate James Comer to be their candidate in the special election set for the same ballot as the general election. Democrats are also expected to put up their general election candidate Sam Gaskins in the special for the congressional seat as well. Congressman Ed Whitfield, who served since 1994, is resigning effective this evening. Kentucky's road fund continues to run short because receipts are down from the motor fuels tax. Lawmakers found out today that shortfall looks to be about $76 million in this fiscal year. Bill Bryant, WKYT.
A Lexington hospital will be upgrading their NICU thanks to a large grant.
Today, WHAS Crusade for Children awarded $50,000 to the Women's Hospital at St. Joseph East. That money will go to upgrading the NICU with new equipment to handle the increase of young patients they've been seeing.
Well, for our NICU, we've continued to see growth in our NICU volumes. So this grant allows us to purchase these additional beds and monitors so that we can handle that additional volume and serve those patients that come into our NICU. So this grant is very critical at a time when our NICU as well as other NICUs are realizing this growth.
St. Joseph East says this grant is one of the largest grants in the Lexington area.
Now, your hour-by-hour forecast with Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey.
Mix of sun and clouds across the region post-Labor Day, and summer just will not go away. Let's look outside and show you a summer-like day that is coming to an end. I know your calendar still says it's summer, but it's after Labor Day. Most folks are now into fall mode. Football is here, as a matter of fact. We've got sun, some clouds, more sun than clouds across the entire area. Upper 80s to right around 90 degrees for the better part of the afternoon. No real humidity into the mix today, but over the next few days, it's still a little humid for this time of year, especially as we go into Friday with some showers and thunderstorms that will begin to increase during that time. Nothing on your Defender radar network across Kentucky. Most of the surrounding states appearing to be in pretty good shape as well. Still watching what is left of Hermine spinning off the Jersey coastline. How about the next 3 days back here in the Bluegrass State? Mainly sunny tomorrow. Those temperatures still steamy, toasty, whatever you want to call them. Just make it clean. Thursday into Friday, threat for a thunderstorm is out there, and especially into the day on Friday, we will have more in the way of humidity. That can lead to a better shot for a thunderstorm or two. So the best chances for rain right now, Friday, and especially second half of Saturday with a cold front that will usher in drier and cooler air. And early next week, we're back into a pattern that should be mainly dry. Hour-by-hour forecast in a shortened work week for a lot of us out there. 11 o'clock this evening. Upper 60s, low 70s will show up, 65 to 70 first thing tomorrow morning. Noontime, mid and upper 80s. We go into Wednesday afternoon. Tomorrow, upper 80s to around 90. We've been down that road a time or two, haven't we, of late? Into Thursday morning, a little more humidity, and look what happens end of the day on Thursday. There's a better chance for a little thunderstorm line to make its way across the Bluegrass State, and that is a pattern that as we go into Thursday night and Friday morning can still throw some more thunderstorms at us. It's not going to be an all-day thing on Friday, but a shower or thunderstorm will likely come calling as the day wears on. Better chance on Saturday, and it is that Saturday front that ushers in a much cooler air mass by Sunday. 76 for a high after a 55-degree wake-up temperature. Low 50s again on Monday before temperatures rebound toward the middle 80s by the middle of next week. Seesaw temperature battle over the next couple of weeks, guys.
Just depends on what side you're on, if you like it or not.
I'm on the cool side.
Me too.
All right, bring it on.
I'm ready for it,
Yes,
I think. Chris, thank you.
Well, the collision on I-64 westbound in Frankfort has been cleared near the Lawrenceburg exit, so we're okay there now. No major issues to deal with on 64 east or westbound between the two Frankfort exits, which leaves us with our drive times now to Nicholasville, still 15, to Georgetown, about 19 minutes, and to Richmond, about 24. That's across the Clays Ferry Bridge. Now back to you in the studio.
Brian, the SEC portion of the UK basketball schedule released today.
UK will look to bring home its third straight SEC regular season title. And I'll show you that schedule and the football Cats trying to find that winning mentality. Sports is next. The UK basketball season begins November 11th, and today the SEC schedule was released for the Cats. UK opens on the road in Oxford against Ole Miss. Then it's a two-game homestand with Texas A&M and Arkansas to begin the new year. UK goes on the road to Vandy and then returns to Rupp against Auburn on the 14th. Then the SEC schedule goes back and forth at Mississippi State, home to face South Carolina, down to Knoxville January 24th. UK closes January in Rupp with Georgia. February begins in Gainesville with the Gators. LSU comes to Lexington February 7th. Cal and the Cats travel to Alabama, then welcome Tennessee on Valentine's Day. A two-game trip to Georgia and Missouri is followed by Florida and Vandy at home, and then the SEC finale at Texas A&M March 4th. The football Wildcats have only a few days to lick their wounds from that bitter loss on Saturday, because up next, a trip down south to the Swamp. On Monday, Mark Stoops said his team was 5 plays away from holding on and getting the win against Southern Miss. But he said there are enough good players now, but last Saturday night, that losing mentality reared its ugly head at the worst possible moment.
No one play changes a game, but you never know what one play would. Because you don't know what the difference is going to be. And there was a bunch of plays in there. There's 10 plays in that game that we don't, whether we don't execute because we're rat trapping or we go back to a losing mentality or whatever it is, but that's got to change, and that we will be changed because the vast majority of this football team is much better.
Wildcats open SEC play this Saturday at Florida. The Gators have won 29 in a row of the series. The game is set for Saturday afternoon, 3:30 right here on WKYT, and immediately following. Join us for a special edition of WKYT Game Time. We will hear from Mark Stoops' post-game press conference live from the Swamp. The new AP Top 25 is out. Alabama, a solid #1. followed by Clemson, Florida State, Ohio State, and Michigan. How about those two at 4 and 5? Houston up 9 spots to number 6. Then it's Stanford, Washington, Georgia, the other big mover this week, up 9 spots to number 9. Wisconsin, Texas is in the poll for the first time under Charlie Strong after that sensational win over Notre Dame in double overtime. Then it's Michigan State, Louisville, Oklahoma down 11 spots to 14. TCU, Iowa, Tennessee wins but falls 8 spots to number 17. Notre Dame down 8 to 18. Then you see Ole Miss and Texas A&M is 20, followed by LSU, the biggest mover, falling 16 spots all the way to 21. Okie State is 22. Baylor, Oregon, and the U all in the poll for the first time this season, and I'm sure it will change much more throughout the year. That is sports. We'll be right back.